Alright, so when I was in my early 20s, I was extremely depressed. I was experimenting with substances behind my mum's back while living under a roof. And I think she knew that I had a drinking issue because I used to order bottles of Hennessy off Amazon. And I would just like sit at my PC drinking it while playing CSGO and Overwatch like an absolute Chad. Like, I'm a former Grandmaster, by the way, if you ever want a smoke. Like, I still got it and I'll destroy anyone at Overwatch. But in my prime, I probably went through two bottles a week, to be honest. Like, I even remember drinking Smirnoff straight out the bottle and just holding my nose to avoid the smell of pure alcohol. And my tongue would, like, go numb from how hard I was poisoning myself. And the reason I did this was because to me, there was no promise of a future. And I knew that I had nothing to look forward to. Like, I was unemployed making meme music because I'd gone borderline insane from my depression, and my dreams of being an esports player were dead in the water as I just wasn't good enough. And on top of that, I had just came out of a relationship where I was being cheated on. And that happened a few times, but I was honestly such an unpleasant person to be around in my late teens to my early 20s that I don't even hold it against them anymore. Like, I dropped out of university, and from that point on, I had just became a recluse on welfare trying to end my life. Like, I think from the ages of like 18 to 21, I probably met up with what was left of my friends probably less than 10 times. And this depression manifested in so many ways. Like, I can think back to college when I would get home from school and I'd be so tired that I just couldn't even make it up the stairs and I'd fall asleep on the sofa. And that same thing even happened when I'd go to see my friends. Like, every single time I pulled up to my friends' houses, the first thing I did was go to sleep in like the corner of their room. And looking back, I didn't even think I was as mentally ill as I was. But in comparison nowadays to how I was then, it's just mind blowing to think about. Like, it was so unacceptable for me to feel that way. Like, what had become the norm to me was just so severe in retrospect. I even remember like disassociating and staring at my walls constantly. And I just thought I was bored or I couldn't focus. But in the moment, I thought, okay, I'm a little bit sad. Yet, looking back on everything that was going on, I probably had some of the worst depression in the country. Like, I was just the doomer Wojak, ready to accept my doom. I thought, screw it, nothing matters, I don't have to pay rent, I have a little bit of money month to month. And I was so severely incapacitated by misery to the point that I was just hoping to waste away. Like, I thought, oh well, I'll be dead soon, it doesn't really matter. And I don't even think my mum really knew the extent of how close I got to like wiping myself off the face of the planet. Like, one time that I can recall is when I went to a Christmas party and I got so drunk that I passed out and they had to put me in a conservatory. And when I woke up, my skin was like literally blue. And then I got up out of the conservatory and I puked all over the sink. But I don't even think anyone checked on me. But I definitely had alcohol poisoning. Like, I was urinating blood for a few days after that. And I couldn't keep my food down. And I think when I was on the train home, I realized that I'm a really difficult person to be around if nobody cares to check on me when I could have been dead in their house. Like, there was another time that I just got so done in from the drink that I stood on a table in Weatherspoons and I was just screaming obscenities while beating my chest. And I got kicked out, but I was probably like 20, which is still way too old to be acting like that. And I think I was just waiting for somebody to like punch me in the face or hurt me, and nobody ever did. Like, the only hurt that ever happened to me was hurt that I did to myself, and I never got jumped or attacked or any of those things. Like, even when I got blackout drunk and even when I started fights, nobody really swung back or tried to harm me. And these realizations made me realize what a bloody head case I was to be around at the time. But by the time I was like 22, I had no real friends. Every woman that had ever shown interest in me was done with me. I had a failing business. My music money was drying up. My relationship with my mum was straight into high heaven. And I was just alone in a rental house. And one day it just hit me like, why am I doing this to myself? I have a dog to take care of, I have a mother that needs her son. And I had dreams of being a successful musician, so why am I letting this happen to me? I think that same day I ordered weights off of Amazon and started lifting. Like, something just began to change. I slowly started to feel less useless. Like, I was skinny fat and I looked like a fucking autopsy before I started lifting weights. And within like 8 months, I looked pretty good. Like, I could look in the mirror and see a strong man, one who was capable of fighting for his happiness and one that respected his body. And I think coming out of that depression, that was just all I needed. Just something to progress at, something to do like day to day. Because the thing with men, right, if we have no purpose, we get very suicidal. Like, it's super common among UFC fighters when they retire, they get loads of mental issues because they've lost their purpose unless they start to find something new to do. And it's so fucking dangerous for us to feel like that. Like, for men who are struggling, I would say start with something you can progress at, like a skill or something that you can become better at and feel fulfilled doing. Like, as stupid as it sounds, those 8 kilogram weights that I got off Amazon genuinely stopped me from sending myself back to the lobby. So don't listen to the fucking crybabies who say that the gym doesn't work or eating healthy doesn't work, because I guarantee you that they do neither, and that's why they're fat and miserable. So take it from me, because I had to grab my life by the fucking bollocks to reclaim it. So while I was lifting weights, I got into this new genre of music. It was an emerging genre at the time called aesthetic rap. I thought, hey, this is easy to make. I'm not that talented. Even if it sounds like shit, it'll probably do well, because that's what I noticed was happening with other people. And I mean, it did. Like, I started building my music career back under a new genre, and I was getting rewarded pretty handsomely for making low quality music, which was all I was capable of at the time. And I mean, looking back, the songs are fun to listen to, just the mixed quality and the lyrical content wasn't all that. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on the fans of aesthetic rap or my fans for liking that music. Like, I still do an aesthetic rap song here and there when I'm in the mood, but I think we can all acknowledge that the bar to entry for that genre, if you know what it is pretty low. Like, I feel like it did give me my own autonomy and independence as a man, though, once the music money started coming in. But now I have the weight, and then I have my own career. I realized I might as well fucking try. Like, I might as well give this life thing a go, and if it goes to shit, so fucking what? I have hope now. I felt healed as a man, and I felt like I could do anything now, because having a music career was an extreme privilege, and still is. Like, music doesn't leave the hobby stage for most people, so it felt like the universe was throwing me a bone and saying, hey, look, if you behave, I've got your back. And it absolutely did. And then the universe threw me another bone. I got a new group of friends. I was playing video games with these people who were dope musicians I looked up to, and I had people messaging me saying, hey, I like your music, asking when my next drop is. And it really is just those like little things, like people caring about you, that go a long way. Because having a 50th chance at having friends and a second chance at having a career in such a competitive field really did stop me from feeling these horrible things I felt. And looking back, I don't think I would ever harm myself again or form negative habits. Like, if I'm like eating like shit or something, or I'm starting to do a bad thing, I like nip it in the bud pretty quick. But my life has done a 180, and I'm in a really good place now. I have a good partner, cool job I like, I get to do things on my terms, and it really is just insane how fast that shit turned around. So for anyone who's thinking about doing the same as what I was doing, just know that it got better. Like, I was at my absolute lowest, like actively trying to self-delete under the belief that there was nothing for me on this earth, and the universe just gave me all of these things eventually. So I guess I would say somebody who's like in the position I was in back then is if you stick around long enough, it probably will get better. I mean, you have to find the littlest things that make keeping going worth doing. Like, if you have a pet or a parent or someone who you know that your existence means something to them, just stick around. Like, I never used to buy into the whole, oh, somebody cares about you bullshit or whatever when I was suicidal. So I know that's like hypocritical to pass that on. But you never know, because like one day you might be the guy passing that on to another person who's feeling like you were 5 years ago. Because I guess that cycle is everywhere. Like, the world is really in a shit place right now, and it looks dark, but things aren't going to be like that forever. And I know I didn't go too into depth on everything, but I really do have so many stories to share. Like, I want to talk about each experience I've had in depth when the timing's right, but I hope this all made sense. And if you want to hear anything specific, or you have any questions, like, I'm a pretty open book. I'm not uptight about sharing my life experience. And if people want to know, like, what's the worst thing I did while I was pissed, or like the worst thing that happened to me, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll tell you how it is, because I'm not scared of backlash, and I don't necessarily have aura. Like, I'm just a fucking retard that's trying to make it the next day. And the last thing I'll say is that I'm trying to build a little community on this channel, side project, whatever you want to call it. So if any of this resonated with you at all, get tapped in and subscribe and leave a comment, because I really do like speaking to people from all walks of life. So share your thoughts with me. But that's all for now. See ya.